as you have been fighting battles you were never supposed to fight, arguing with people who were never going to hear you, trying to win games that were rigged against you from the very beginning. And every time you stepped into that arena, you walked away with less than what you entered with. Less time, less energy, less peace. You thought you were being strong, but you were only being used. Today that ends. I am going to show you 7 ruthless strategies Niccolò Machiavelli revealed 500 years ago. Strategies that teach you how to win without lifting a finger, how to defeat people who never even realized you were coming, how to rise so high that nobody can drag you back down. And the craziest part is this: you will do all of it without ever raising your voice. Most people think winning is about effort. They think that if someone challenges them, they need to prove themselves. If someone insults them, they need to strike back. They believe life is a fight and the loudest person wins. But the people who actually control the world do not think this way at all. They sit back, they watch, they wait. And when the moment is right, they take everything quietly, while everyone else is still arguing. Machiavelli spent his life studying these people, kings, generals, rulers, and he saw the same pattern over and over. The ones who shouted lost. The ones who explained themselves lost. The ones who jumped into every fight lost. But the ones who stayed silent and picked their battles ended up on top of every single one of them. By the end of this video, your whole approach to power is going to change. You'll see why competing makes you weak. You'll learn why arguing is the worst trap you can fall into. You'll understand how to defeat enemies who don't even know you're fighting back. This isn't about being passive or giving up. It's about playing a smarter game, the same game the powerful have been playing in private for centuries. And now that game becomes yours. Drop this in the comments before we start. I play to win. Let's go. Number 1. Never fight for what you can take quietly. The first rule sounds simple, but almost nobody follows it. Stop fighting for things you can simply take. Most people see something they want and immediately make noise about it. They announce their goals. They challenge their rivals openly. They tell everyone exactly what they're going for. And the moment they do that, they have already weakened themselves. Because announcing your move gives the world time to stop you. Rivals form. Enemies wake up. Doors that were once open start closing one by one. Machiavelli watched this happen to leader after leader. The ones who fell were almost always the ones who told everyone their plans. The ones who succeeded moved in complete silence. They never declared war on anyone. They just showed up one day already in control. And by then, it was too late for anyone to stop them. Here's how this plays out today. Imagine 2 people going for the same promotion. Yet the loud one tells everyone they want it. They post about it. They make it the topic of every conversation. Now everyone is watching them. judging every move, hoping they slip up. The quiet one says nothing. They just build. They make themselves valuable in ways nobody is paying attention to. Then one day, the position is theirs. And no fight, no drama, just a result that nobody saw coming. This pattern works in every part of life, in business, in friendships, in family, in social circles. The loudest person draws the most attacks. The quietest person makes the most progress while everyone else is distracted. And so stop announcing your moves. Stop telling people your plans. Build in silence and let the result do the talking. By the time the world notices what you've done, you'll already be too far ahead to catch. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I move in silence. Number 2, arguing is a losing game. Now I want you to really hear this next one. The moment you start arguing, you've already lost. It doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter how strong your point is. The second you step into an argument, you've handed the other person something they didn't have before: power over your time and your emotions. Think about what an argument actually is, and two people standing on equal ground, throwing words back and forth. By engaging, you're saying that this person is your equal. You're saying their opinion deserves a response. You're giving them a stage to perform on, and that stage is the only thing they ever wanted in the first place. And most people do not argue to uncover the truth. They argue to feel important. They argue because bringing someone down to their level is the only way they know how to feel powerful. So the moment you argue back, you are feeding them. You are keeping their game alive. Niccolò Machiavelli watched brilliant men ruin themselves not because of enemies, but because of their need to prove they were right. They wasted years trying to make points to people who never mattered, while their true rivals quietly took everything they had created. Powerful people behave completely differently. When someone questions their ideas, they do not defend them. They keep building. When someone disagrees with their decisions, they do not explain themselves. When someone attempts to pull them into a debate, they look right through it, as though they never even heard it. And that drives people crazy. They wanted a fight. They wanted to feel like they got under your skin. But when you give them nothing, they are left standing there with empty hands, searching for someone to argue with, and no one is there. So here's your new rule. If you can prove someone wrong with results, never prove them wrong with words. Let your life be the argument. Let your success be the answer. The people who matter will see the truth. The people who don't matter were never worth your breath anyway. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't argue, I win. Number 3, let them underestimate you. This rule is dangerous in the best possible way, because when someone underestimates you, they make a mistake. They lower their guard. They show you their full hand. They tell you exactly how they plan to beat you. And by the time they realize who you really are, the game is already over. Most people hate being underestimated. They feel insulted. They feel disrespected. They want everyone to know how smart and capable they are. So they constantly try to prove themselves, show off, brag, make sure everyone in the room sees their value. But this is exactly how you become a target. When you show your full strength to the world, you give your enemies a clear shot. They see what they're dealing with. They prepare for you. They build defenses against you. As Machiavelli observed, those who appear harmless are often the ones who strike the hardest. They reveal nothing. Let others relax and act only when the moment guarantees the outcome. This is one of the most powerful tricks you'll ever learn. Let people think you're not a threat. Let them think you're not paying attention. Let them think they're smarter than you. While they're busy feeling superior, you're busy preparing your move. And the gap between what they expect and what you actually do becomes your weapon. In meetings, you don't always have to be the loudest voice. In friendships, you don't have to reveal everything you know. In business, never show your best cards too early. Let people fill in the blanks themselves, and most of the time they'll fill those blanks with stories that work in your favor. The greatest weapon you have isn't your skill or your knowledge. It's the version of you that lives inside other people's heads. If they see you as harmless, they won't defend against you. If they see you as average, they won't compete with you. If they see you as no threat, they'll tell you everything you need to know. Stop trying to impress people who haven't earned it. Stop showing your full hand to a world that hasn't proven it deserves to see it. Let them underestimate you and watch how easily you take what was always meant to be yours. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My strength is hidden. Number 4, timing is more powerful than effort. Here's a truth that will save you years of wasted energy. Effort means nothing without timing. You can be the smartest person in the room, work harder than anyone else, and still lose if your timing is off. And someone with half your skill can win if their timing is right. Most people do not believe this. They were taught that more effort always creates more success. So they push harder, they grind longer, they throw themselves into every opportunity that appears in front of them, hoping eventually something will work. They burn out, they wear themselves down, and they watch slower people move past them without understanding why. The reason is simple. Slower people are waiting for the right moment. Faster people are only moving for the sake of movement. And in the long game, the observer always defeats the runner. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this. Victory rarely belongs to the strongest person. It belongs to the one who chooses the perfect moment to strike. Move too early and you lose. Wait too long and you lose everything. Here is how this applies to your life right now. And do not ask for the raise on the day your boss is stressed. Do not push for the deal while the market is turning against you. Do not make the bold move when nobody is paying attention to anything. Wait, watch, read the room. The right moment will come, and when it does, you'll need very little effort to win. The powerful are patient in a way most people don't understand. They don't chase opportunities. They study them. They sit back until they see the opening, then they move fast. One clean strike. No wasted energy. No drama. Just the right move at the right time, and the game is over. Train yourself to slow down. Stop reacting to every chance that lands in front of you. Start asking better questions. Is this the right moment? Is this the right person? Most of the time, the honest answer is no, and that no is what saves your energy for the bigger yes coming later. Effort without timing is just exhaustion in disguise. Timing with even small effort is real power. Once you understand the difference, you stop losing battles you used to lose every time. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I move when the time is right. Number 5. Destroy ego before it destroys you. Now we need to talk about your biggest enemy, and it's not your boss, your rival, or the people who doubt you. Your biggest enemy lives inside your own head. It's your ego. And until you learn to control it, you're going to keep losing fights you should have walked away from. Ego makes you do stupid things. It makes you defend opinions that aren't worth defending. It makes you fight for respect from people whose respect doesn't matter. Shun. It turns small problems into wars, minor insults into deep wounds, and wise people into fools who can't see straight. The tricky part is that most people can't even see their own ego working. They think they're just standing up for themselves. They think they're being honest. They think they're protecting their reputation. But every single time you react out of ego, you give up a piece of your power to someone who didn't earn it. Machiavelli warned pride can destroy even the strongest. Many had everything they needed, but one ego-driven decision cost them everything. Here's the thing you need to understand. Ego protects who you think you are. Power protects who you actually are. The two are opposites, and they cannot live in the same person at the same time. Every time you feed your ego, you starve your power. The powerful kill their ego on purpose every single day. They learn to lose small to win big. They let people think they got the last word, and they let people believe they're better. Because the powerful know that the real win isn't in the moment. The real win is in the long game, and the long game rewards patience over pride. When someone tries to embarrass you in front of others, your ego wants to fight back. Your power wants you to walk away. When someone takes credit for your work, your ego wants exposure and revenge. Your power wants you to wait, because their pattern will catch up to them long before you ever could. Question every reaction before you act on it. Ask yourself if this fight is actually worth what it's going to cost you. Almost every time the honest answer is no. The moment you stop letting your ego make your decisions, you start winning fights you didn't even know you were in. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I rule my ego. Number 6, make your presence a privilege. The next rule is about how you show up in the world. And most people get this completely wrong. They give themselves away for free. They show up to every event, respond to every message, make themselves available to anyone who asks, and then they wonder why nobody respects them. Here's what nobody tells you. When you're always available, you become invisible. When your time is free, people stop seeing it as valuable. We don't value what we can have anytime we want. We only value what we have to earn. Machiavelli understood through his observations of power and human behavior, and people who hold real power never make themselves constantly available. They create distance. They choose their moments carefully. And that distance is exactly what makes their presence valuable. You need to do the same thing in your own life. Stop being everywhere. Stop answering everyone the second they reach out to you. Or to become someone people need to make time for. Become someone whose presence feels like a privilege, not a guarantee they can access whenever they want. Once you begin moving this way, something interesting happens almost immediately. People notice your absence more than they ever noticed your presence. They begin asking about you when you are not in the room, and they begin saving important conversations for the rare moments when you are actually available. Your value rises because your availability decreases. This is not about playing games with people. It is about respecting yourself enough to understand that your time is limited. Every minute you give to one person is a minute you cannot give to someone else. And so choose carefully who gets that minute. Give your presence to people who add to your life and pull back from anyone who only takes from it. The same rule applies to your work and your ideas. Don't share every thought you have. Don't volunteer for every project that comes your way. Pick your spots or choose your moments. Make every move count for something. People should look at your involvement and instinctively think, this must matter, because he's only here when it does. Make yourself rare. Make yourself selective. Become someone the world has to chase, not someone who chases the world. That single shift will change how every person around you treats you. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My presence is rare. Number 7, win by letting others lose. This is the final rule, and it's the most powerful one of all. The biggest victories in life don't come from winning. They come from letting your enemies destroy themselves while you simply step out of the way. No, because here's the truth. Nobody wants to admit. Most people fall apart on their own. You don't have to push them. You just have to stop catching them. Look around your own life. The people who try to hurt you are usually their own worst enemy. They make bad choices. They burn bridges with everyone, not just you. Soon, they start fights they can't finish. They lie until people stop trusting them. They cheat until they get caught. Their downfall is already written into the way they live. All you have to do is not get in the way. Machiavelli saw this principle play out across centuries of history. The smartest leaders never wasted resources attacking weak enemies. They let those enemies make their own mistakes, watched them collapse from the inside, then walked in and took what was left without spilling a drop of energy. Most people miss this completely. When someone wrongs them, they want revenge right now. They want to fight back today. They want that person to know they messed with the wrong one. But this is the trap. Because while you're plotting revenge, you're missing the biggest gift you could ever be given. Time. Time is what destroys your enemies for you, if you have the patience to let it. Give it long enough, and the toxic person becomes lonely. The dishonest person gets exposed. The arrogant person gets humbled. And the lazy person falls behind everyone they used to look down on. You don't have to do anything. You just have to stay focused on your own life and let time do the dirty work for you. Here's what this looks like in real life. Someone betrays you. The old you would burn the bridge and start a war. The new you smiles, says nothing, and just watches. 6 months later, that person has burned every other bridge in their life too, and you didn't have to do a thing. Someone competes with you and starts talking trash. The old you would respond and engage, getting pulled down to their level. The new you just keeps producing results. A year later, they're still talking, while you're 3 levels above where they ever expected you to be. This is calculated patience. This is winning without fighting. This is the highest form of power that exists. While they're busy tearing themselves apart, you're rising. While they're stuck in their drama, you're somewhere completely different, free and untouchable. You don't need to fight anyone. You don't need to compete. You just need to outlast them, and almost everyone trying to pull you down will eventually destroy themselves on their own. So let's quickly go back through what you just learned. You learned why fighting is a trap, and why moving in silence is the true path to power. You learned that arguing is a losing game, and that your results should be the only response you ever give. And you discovered the danger of revealing your full hand and the strange power that comes from letting people underestimate you. You learned that timing always defeats effort, and that patience has won more wars than aggression ever will. You learned how your ego is your greatest enemy, and how destroying it is the first real step toward freedom. You learn to make your presence a privilege instead of a guarantee. And finally, you learn the most important truth of all. You do not have to defeat your enemies. They will destroy themselves if you simply give them enough space. These are not just ideas to think about. These are weapons. Once you begin using them, you can never return to the old way of moving through the world. And the old way was making you tired, frustrated, and powerless. This new way is going to make you calm, focused, and dangerous in the best possible sense of the word. But all of this only works if you actually commit. It only works if you stop fighting, starting today, not next week. The next time someone tries to pull you into an argument, walk away without saying a word. The next time someone tries to compete with you, ignore them completely. The next time someone tries baiting you into proving yourself, smile and keep moving. You no longer have anything to prove. You are not playing their game anymore. You are playing your own. And in your game, the rule is simple. Never compete, never argue, just win. This is the strategy powerful people have hidden for centuries, and now it belongs to you. Use it wisely. So before you leave, I'm going to ask you one final thing. Are you ready to stop fighting battles that do not matter? Are you ready to begin winning the battles that actually do? If your answer is yes, then prove it. Drop "I just win" in the comments right now. Make it real. Speak it into existence. And before you click away, if this video opened your eyes, hit the like button. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message.